Like a wolf in sheep's clothing, our controlling tendencies could masquerade as surrender. Consider the attributes of Yang. Being rigid, fearful, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. Let's recall the attributes of Yin. Being flexible, loving, laid back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. How do we transcend our controlling tendencies? I think I missed a spot here. So it's one thing to say, I want to be led by the Force, or I want to be led by a higher power, or I want to be led by God, or I want to be led by the Tao. Those are lovely words. But then if we follow it with the idea, therefore I must actively seek its will, then we've lost the path of passivity and we return to the path of activity. So how do we transcend our controlling tendencies? Inhalation is a mindfulness notices. It notices vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. And it's the opposite of active concentration. It's passive. It's already hardwired into each inhalation thanks to the sympathetic nervous system ensconced within the thoracic region of our spinal cord. Exhalation's meditation releases were already wired during each exhalation, thanks to our parasympathetic nervous system, to physically relax and mentally release. That doesn't mean we stop perceiving and experience. It means we let go of our resistance to that experience. Consider, if you will, the wonderful three-phase aphorism. Whatever comes, I let it come. Whatever stays, I let it stay. Whatever goes, I let it go. So how do we get to that point? How then are we to know the will of the Force? We can't. Knowing is pretty active, isn't it? A happy byproduct of mindfulness and meditation is centered spontaneity, through which our choices, utterances, and deeds could flow. That we might be like a way-seeking Jedi of yore, simply by setting aside some time every 12 hours or so to sit in mindfulness and meditation. We effortlessly flow in harmony with the Tao, or the Force, or the Holy Spirit, or the Dharmakaya. I look forward to meditating with you after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I spent more than 8 hours a day, every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and then reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each sect of Buddhism so that you would not have to. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. We turn now to the latest iteration of Easy Proto Zen. And just as a rose by any other name would still smell as sweet, likewise, mindfulness and meditation are known by many names, such as Sati Passaddhi, Zen, Proto-Zen, Chan, Dhyana, Mahamudra, Mahasandhi, Ati Yoga, Dzogchen, and even Treksha. Despite the fancy names, it's very, very easy. As a child, we most likely received a bicycle with training wheels, and although they were clunky, they got the job done. This morning, our first contemplative exercise is also going to be clunky. During each inhalation, we could silently and mentally recite the 12 syllables, perceiving this very turbulent play of mind. During each exhalation, we could silently and mentally recite relaxing into mind's non-graspable nature. Welcome to the live stream. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. Usually I check for questions approximately once every 9 minutes. Let's dig in. Let's remove the first of 2 metaphoric training wheels and reduce our contemplative exercise from 12 syllables per breath down to just 3. During our perceptive inhalation, we could silently and mentally recite, notice this, and during our releasing exhalation, we could silently and mentally recite, relaxing. And of course, during each inhalation, we're welcome to experience a vertical traction between our head and our tuchus. Doing so is simply a habit that you can install within the next 3 weeks. Now let us remove the second of 2 metaphoric training wheels by reducing our contemplative exercises from 3 syllables per breath down to just 1. During our perceptive inhalation, we can silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this, and during each relaxing exhalation, during each releasing exhalation, we could silently and mentally recite the monosyllabic verb ease, which functions as a synonym of relax. Now that we've reached cruising altitude, together let us meditate as transformatively as young Luke Skywalker on Dagobah under the guidance of Yoda. Our live stream is almost over. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. Welcome to the tail end of this morning's live stream. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. With each in-breath, we can allow ourselves to feel a vertical traction between our head and our tush. Let's seal this morning's practice with a bit of the old chanting. Let's chant the Friday morning selection from the Song of Enlightenment, composed by Jigme and translated by Red Pine, adapted and amplified by yours truly. Together. At every stage, all stages are present, but not in form or mind and not in what you do. Snap your fingers and countless Dharma doors appear. 3 kalpas go by in an instant. As per all statements being no statements, that means nothing to this enlightened nature of mine. It cannot be slandered and it cannot be praised. Like space, it has no boundaries. It is never not present but always clear. But look and you cannot see it. You cannot grab it and you cannot let it go. When you cannot find it, that is when you will find it. It speaks when it is silent when it speaks. When the gate of gifts opens, nothing stands in the way. People ask what is the source of my understanding. I tell them the power of great wisdom. If it is right or wrong, nobody knows. If it makes sense or not, the gods cannot tell. I have been practicing this for kalpas, and not just to make people confused. Flying the Dharma flag, announcing the school's doctrine. Clearly the Buddha's teachings is at Shaoxi. Kashyapa was the first to transmit the lamp, the first of 28 generations in the West. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 10 1/4 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.